Yeah, welcome to the Geeks and Joseph podcast YouTube channel. Let's talk about the Peachy Batman. I'm your host, Enterprises. With me at sometimes me con Peele. And Peachy Felix. So the Batman was finally released after COVID delays, after people questioning Robert Pattinson as the Batman.
A very bumpy production, to say the least.
Casting, all that. We finally got Matt Reeves, Batman?
Matt Reeves, yeah.
The Batman. When the title card came up for me, there was no the. Is that
Me neither.
Is that a Mexican thing?
No, I don't know, because it just said Batman.
Because in the parts where he was giving clues, it would come up in Spanish too.
Really?
Yeah, like when he does something and there's something underneath the rug. Remember that? And the letters were from the person in the character that was doing that. Remember?
Yep.
It was in Spanish. It wasn't in English.
Neta?
Yeah. So I think it's called Batman in Spanish and it's the Batman in English, right?
Oh, I think so.
I think that's what I just realized right now. Anyway, the plot of the Batman is when the Riddler, a sadistic serial killer, begins murdering key political figures in Gotham, Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement. What you thought about the Batman? I don't know. I always do that and I fuck up because there's no way for you to go, huh? It's too much.
No, but I have to say that I do need to watch it at least a couple more times.
Word?
But like, what I can say right now,
Simone,
is I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Goddamn way. It was a roller coaster. It was, I think, oh my God. It was so satisfying to see Batman in the investigative role.
Yeah, we've never seen that really in the theater.
They tried to do it in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But that was a different type of Batman.
Because really, Batman is three people and they always often neglect one of the other two. So Batman is Bruce Wayne, Batman is the Batman, and Batman is also a detective.
Yes.
And usually the detective gets the shorter end of the stick here and never gets represented in any way. You know, and in this one, he's literally involved with the police, and some police officers have an issue with it, some don't. The higher ends do. He's with Gordon. That's how it's usually treated in the animated series. And in the movies, it doesn't really get represented like that. He's seen as a vigilante, as a thing on the side. I think in Robin, he was working with them, right, a little bit, but the investigative part wasn't really huge touch upon. Mainly investigative, as I think we both mean on site, because he would find something during fighting in other movies and then take it back to the lab and investigate it that way. But we mean like in the evidence with the cops, retracing steps, doing all that, and that is represented brilliantly in this movie for sure. Yes,
and I mean, we'll get into more stuff as we go along, but I want to say that the city again becomes a character.
Yeah,
because the city, the set pieces, even the technology Batman uses, does not feel like the technology we use today. It is a strange type of retro futuristic shit.
It's grounded. Everything in this movie is grounded.
That I loved so much.
Yeah, it's even if it's high tech, like the eye thing, which is fantastic. That's the most high tech gadget he has. Everything else feels homemade. Even the Batmobile feels like it's something that we could construct ourselves.
I mean, it was for a big chunk of the movie. He had the Batmobile was non-existent. Yeah, he had the pieces to assemble it, but we had the engine like in the middle of his lair.
Yeah, if you're paying attention to the background, it's slowly being built as you're watching. The very first thing that you notice from this movie is the tone. The tone is completely different, and going into this movie, I knew from reports that it's more of a horror Batman movie, and it's not horror and you're going to be scared, holy shit. It's more of the feeling and the very first encounter, you know? The very first murder, it feels very, very horror-y, because he's sitting there in the background and you just see the eyes, and it's creepy, and it's scary in that sense. No jump scares or nothing, so it's it was kind of a shock to me to find out that the movie's PG-13. I thought it was rated R.
What?
It's PG-13.
Oh, wow.
Because it feels rated R.
Oh, completely.
And this is a perfect point of what I've mentioned in the pod, that you can do PG-13 very well, right? And this is the great example of that.
Yeah, and with that, you just shut me up with whatever I was gonna say with any other movie that's PG-13.
Yeah, because you wanted like certain characters deserve to be rated R, but this is a great example that it doesn't all have to be rated R. You can do PG-13. I think we were talking about like Ghost Rider and Blade. Those have to have this kind of tone.
Yes, and
you can do it in other forms. It doesn't have to all be just rated R. So Matthew Reeves was executive producer to 10 Cloverfield Lane, The Cloverfield Paradox, and the Passage is a TV series which I've kind of heard good things about. And also he was a writer and director for the newest Planet of the Apes trilogy, which I haven't seen.
It's dope.
So this dude know what the fuck he doing. So yeah, the tone is the first thing you're like, what the fuck, what's going on? Let's stick with the direction. This is, and I didn't notice it, and that's how I know is a good form of this what I'm about to say, is because I didn't notice until the end. This is how you do blurry, right? This is how you do the blur shit, because I didn't notice it until the very, very end.
What do you mean blur? That's how I did not notice blur. What do you mean?
This is the Zack Snyder blurry shit done right.
Oh fuck, Simon.
It's blurry.
Holy shit.
A lot of it is blurry and it's focused on the center. Especially towards the end, towards the one thing that happens, and we'll get into spoils if you don't know what I mean. But when he's hanging and he's looking up and there's water behind him,
Simon,
all that is blurry, and then it cuts up to the other thing, and then that thing is perfectly in focus, and the behind it is blurry. That's where I noticed it, and I noticed that it's been happening throughout the whole damn movie.
Holy, wow!
So that's the blur done right. It's not the Zack Snyder just blur just because we're doing blurry and we can't see what the fuck's going on.
It blended it so perfectly that I never
didn't notice until that point.
No.
So this Batman centers around, it's like a horror mob story, and there's so many angles to go through, but none of it feels overwhelming at all. No, it blends perfectly. I mean, they do touch upon a lot of aspects of each and every one of the scenarios Batman works with, and I think they blended each scene and they interweaved every story very good. Because going in, you know that there's the Riddler's there, the Penguin is there, there's a mob boss that, if it's a spoiler, I'm not going to say till later, and you got Catwoman, right? And then you got the city of Gotham in itself as a character. So you got essentially 5 villains, anti-villains characters, and it could feel like a lot. Plus you got Batman and all these other characters running around, right? It doesn't feel like enough, like a lot, even though each of those has their own story and reason and why it's happening and what's happening and because it's happening, all that. But somehow they manage to toe the line and not feeling overwhelming at all. And the strange thing is that the movie's nigh on 3 hours, and it keeps up a good pace. Yeah, it does. I mean, anything over 2.5 hours, you feel bubbles. And I completely disagree on this movie. I kind of wish he was here to defend himself, but I'm gonna kind of like reiterate what he was saying. He felt the 3 hours. I did, because it's 3 hours. Yep, I also did. So, because I felt it, that's literally the only negative I have about this movie, is that it's a little long. But at the same time, I'm like, what the fuck do you cut? Yeah. And I think they cut. I would imagine that they cut a lot of stuff. But what else would I cut? I can't cut anything else. That's how I know it's a great movie. Because usually I go, oh, if you cut out the interaction between this guy and that guy, that's stupid or whatever. I was trying to like nitpick. I'm like, maybe when Gordon was walking towards the Batmobile that one time, but even that was like, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm doing, oh, you didn't know. No, that's lends something. Everything is meaningful. So I'm like, what the, I can't cut anything out of this 3-hour movie. I thought it was great. I heard this, I was listening to this stream about the Lord of the Rings, and one of the dudes said, most movies are
we do this, and then we do this, and then we do this. And now movies now don't do, I did this because of something before. I think Batman is, this happens because of something else.
But they don't hit you over the head with it. There's a lot of movies that are like, you see, this, you remember this? This is why it happens because of this. And you're like, I get it, movie. Would you fuck off for a second?
And even this, I mean, I've seen a couple people talk about this, but it did stand out a lot when I saw it in the movie, was Batman has to say nothing. And he gets this point across very clearly. There's a moment in the movie where
you're talking about Batman the character, or are you talking about Pattinson's character?
I'm talking about the direction of the movie, like the character, because there's this scene where towards the end where he gets told something like, hey, like he gets a warning and he just looks at the dude and keeps doing it. Then, hey, you shouldn't do this, and he again just looks at the dude. And he gets his point across with a look. That was amazing.
But that's on Robert Pattinson, though.
Yes,
it's both on the direction and the actor. Now we're old enough where we understand how much acting and directing go together. Because you can have a great actor with a terrible direction, and you usually blame the actor for it because that's the person you're seeing on screen. You know, we've talked about this with Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. The direction in there was terrible. Doesn't mean that Tommy Lee Jones isn't a great actor. Is that the direction they were given didn't help them. So as much as I want to give credit to Robert Pattinson, even though I don't remember what your stance was, but I've been telling y'all he's gonna kill it. Go watch Good Time, and he did it. He killed it. I knew that. I had not seen Twilight. I have not seen Twilight. Maybe that because I don't have that stigma against him. I knew because of Good Time he's gonna kill it.
I was rooting for him, but defensively.
A lot of people just put him off because of the Twilight thing, and I find that to be really, really unfair.
It is unfair. It is terribly unfair.
Yeah,
because he is. I mean, I haven't seen Good Times. I've seen another movie where that ends in a September 11th thing. He's amazing in that movie.
He was Cedric Diggory before fucking Twilight.
Exactly. And that's how my Robert Pattinson, as strange as it sounds, is Cedric Diggory, not Edward Cullen.
Right. Yeah. I don't think of him as. I forget that he's in Twilight because you've seen Twilight.
Yes.
Or is his performance what drags it, or is it the just the movie as cheesy as it is?
The movie, because
well, then it's not his fault.
It looks like, I mean, the direction he's given is terrible. It's not I've never thought that the movies were bad because of him. I think that most of the actors don't do their job because the directing was shit and the story in and of itself was stupid.
Yeah, you can't hold them for that.
No, I blame none of the actors for it. I blame the story. It's like
saying Jordan Peele can't be a good director because he was on Mad TV and he's doing Key and Peele and doing stupid shit. That has nothing. That does nothing good to do with the other.
Yes.
So he killed it as Batman. His performance. I think every performance. I don't think there was a bad performance in the fucking movie.
No.
Not a single one. Even people in the background.
Even the city way.
The city was acting, yo. It was crazy.
It was fucking nuts, way. It was nuts.
The performances are fucking insane. Everybody killed it.
It is Gotham City.
Yeah.
Even in the wide shots, you see Gothic elements everywhere.
Even the goons on the train are like, yeah, let's get them. That doesn't feel cheesy. It's cheesy. It just feels like, okay, yeah, this fucking Chinito's gonna get fucked up, right?
Simo.
Right? Even the Chinito running away, you're like, run, Asian guy, run, you know? Every single performance in this movie is crazy. So we'll pick an MVP towards the end, but if you say the fucking Postman was your MVP, I'll give you, yeah. It could be anybody. It could be fucking anybody. But I have a favorite, and we'll hear those a little bit later. I'm trying to get through without the spoil shit, but the fighting, this is the best Batman fighting, right?
Yes. I must say it is.
I think it's because of the rage and how violent every movement he does is.
Yeah, because normally we ship Batman with stealthiness, clean, like he's sharp. Normally, well, the Batman we know. Right now, he's not as sharp.
No,
he's
year
sharpening.
2. He's sophomore Batman. He's still learning
sharpening. Yeah, exactly. He has a cathartic moment that does something.
Yeah.
And I think that's the point where we get the refined one.
But you have to understand where he's at, though. You have, and they said it in the movie, and a lot of people did not get it. He's sophomore Batman. He's learning how to shit. You know, he's flying through the city, being all cool, but he biffs the landing because he's still learning how to do this shit.
And he was afraid to do that move.
Right. He's standing on it like, oh, fuck. And then that in and of itself is a moment. The reveal of the Batmobile is a moment. How it gets revealed when it's in the dark and then it turns the light on. It's like, holy shit. You know what it is.
Yeah, the roar. Oh, my God.
That's a moment. How
I was shaking.
It was amazing. That was dope. You know it's coming, but they gave it enough shine that it was also over. It was just like I don't know how to explain it. There's a thin line of beating you over the head with it and then like giving it a moment.
And that's another thing, dude. They take their time to set things up.
Yeah.
The Batmobile, they took their time to make it roar, to let you know how beefy of a monster it was before you saw it in action. Every time the Batman arrived, there was a lingering shot over the darkness. You heard his heavy ass steps approaching, and they never cut until you see him appear.
You know, I think what it is.
What?
The music, Doc. The music is 10 out of 10 in this. Oh my God! The 10. If anything, if they're not gonna give this movie any awards, I don't know if it wins or it doesn't probably fit for Oscars, but next year, whatever the fuck you want to do, it's gotta win for music. It's probably got the best. The music is 50% of the movie because for all those moments you just said, the music is setting it up for the room, the lighting of the turn on of the headlights, or him stepping from out of the shadows. The music, it's perfect. It hits at the right exact moment, and the music carries the movie 100%.
This is how much I love the music. My girl, by the end, she was like, "Why are we still in the theater?"
Oh my God, that was me and Crazy Guy. He was like, "Nothing else is coming." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm here to listen to the fucking music."
That's exactly. I was like, "I love the music. I'm listening to the music." I was, oh my God, oh fucking Crazy Guy.
Did you notice that the Batman theme is the death theme?
Yes,
it's the death theme.
The Dies Irae.
It's the fucking death theme, which is a juxtaposition in and of itself because Batman doesn't kill.
No, dude, it still sends chills down my spine.
See way.
It is. Oh my God, I'm sure that people, allegedly more objective people are gonna. I mean, I don't give a fuck who anyone. I'm sucking this movie's dick. It deserves it. But
I remember I sent you a score of 10 and I sent you another score of 6, and I'm like, what the fuck is a 6? Is he a crackhead? He don't pay attention. It's weird how when a movie is just a 10, to us, the opposite of it is a lower score instead of something normal like an 8 or a 9 or a 7.
Yeah, the critics bash it.
How do you go from 10 to 6? Like it's total polar opposites. I don't understand that.
Didn't that happen with Ghostbusters? Like us, the plebs loved it a lot, but the critics hated it.
But there's some critics that loved it. It's like there's no middle ground is what I'm trying to say, which is I find it super weird.
And it sucks because not everything is black and white. There's shades of color between those two.
But the reception of some of these movies which is the part that weirds me out. So there's still a lot more to talk about, but I guess we can score it, I guess, even though I'm jumping around a lot. What do you score it?
I'm giving it a 10.
I gave it a fucking 10 too. And Bubbles was like, are you out of your fucking mind? He gave it a 7.5.
What the fuck?
Right? So
Okay.
But there was also that reviewer that gave it a 6.
I still respect and love Bubbles.
No, he can go suck a vagina. I'm not going to say cock because he would like cock. No, I'm not giving him a treat. You can go fuck off. I'm going to expose him. I'm going to try to read. He sent me a whole ass Bible over here. There's just he also feels weird. He also feels conflicted about it.
Why? Okay.
It's weird.
Listen.
I don't know. We were chatting about it. We were yelling at it back and forth. He wanted the Penguin to be more penguiny.
No, what? No, okay. And
he didn't buy him completely as Batman, but he was open to it. he wanted more Catwoman, but that's him. That don't count. He felt the 3 hours, but he wanted the Penguin to be more penguin-y.
I love Pattinson's voice as Batman.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they're just growling.
I mean, it wasn't Bale.
No,
it wasn't Affleck using a voice changer. No,
but it was
him. It was a middle. He was him lowering the pitch of his voice, and it worked.
Bale is a little over the top.
Yeah, it is.
When you get made fun of it, it's because you overdid it.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Rachel? You overdid it. But it's not a bad choice. So this choice, because it doesn't get made fun of or praised, you did a great job, because no one's really talking about his voice. No. Meaning, is this something that is you bought it? What I think Bubbles and I think these other people who give him low scores don't really understand is that it's supposed to be a grounded version of Batman. The whole movie is grounded. So if he wanted Penguin to be a little bit more cartoony, but then you take it out of, you have to convert the Penguin. I mean, look at my shirt. You got to convert this guy into somebody who's a real person. And they did that.
The way that they did it. The way that they did it. No mames.
So I took it. He wanted to be more gimmicky, but I thought he was perfect. Colin Farrell was my fucking MVP.
Me too. When you were saying like MVPs, I was gonna say Colin Farrell. Oz Cobblepot. I did not know this, but they say that he went to the store in costume. Nobody knew who the fuck he was.
Yeah, that's how they tested out the suit.
I loved him so much.
He was my favorite. So I don't know if you knew this, but there's an HBO Max series coming with him.
Yeah, and there's another one about Arkham, right?
We know about Commissioner Gordon, who's not a commissioner yet, so he might become commissioner in that series. Who Commissioner Gordon was great too. What's his name?
I fucking forget his name, but I love him.
He's a good actor too. Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, he's a
fantastic.
Good actor. He's fantastic.
Again, if you say Zoe Kravitz was your favorite, if you say Robert Pattinson was your favorite, Paul Dano was my close second. He was fucking fantastic. John Turturro was also amazing.
I was debating on saying Paul Dano or
me too,
or Cobb or Farrell, but Farrell took it. But Dano
was fucking great. He plays the Riddler. He was fucking amazing. Andy Serkis as Alfred is probably the only one I'm like, if you change him, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, I mean, he did a banging job, but it was like, you're like, okay,
but he could be replaced.
Exactly,
is what I'm saying. He ain't no Bender.
No,
but his performance was great. It was between Paul Dano and Oz for me. I mean, and Colin Farrell. But just because he doesn't sound like him either, the performance that he did. It's Colin Farrell. The story, again, the length is a little long. The story, I because I have them right here and I read them, I saw a lot of similarities from The Long Halloween and Year One. So I took bits and pieces from there. I thought that there was a great amount of riddles, because with Riddler you need to have riddles and have puzzles. And Bubbles thought that it was way too much. That's fine.
No way, it was perfect. Because and the cool thing was that some of them, they did draw out. Not in a bad way, but the same riddle was referenced a lot, and it meant something.
Yeah, and it take you a second. You're like, oh, that one's justice, bro. Okay, this one is, and the way he's fucking with the officials, there's a reason behind that. There's a reason why he's targeting that official. There's a reason why he's targeting Batman. Everything has a reason, and it's perfect. But I did recognize similar
similarities,
like adaptations from The Long Halloween and Year One Batman. What's with movies and hallway scenes, and why are they always the best?
I do not know.
You know which one I'm talking about here?
I think so.
And it's on the trailer when it's pitch black, and all you can see are the guns.
The gunshots.
That was my favorite scene.
Because Resident Evil had that one, and I think that's the only good scene in the whole movie.
I don't even remember that either.
Yeah, the only survival horror sequence we get in the whole movie is that Chris killing zombies in a hallway, and the only light you have is a muzzle flash.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, obviously, this is way better than this.
Because he's coming towards you.
Yeah, that makes it more impactful, because I mean, I no bullshit. I feel a little intimidated when he was coming like, hey, yo, it's going, hey, Arpat, hey, ate pa allá, wey. I'm gonna shine light so you can shine, pendejo. Oh, you know shine? Oh, fuck, you're gonna kill me.
Because a lot of people were bitching how he's not beefy, you know?
Ooh, no, Batman is not beefy.
I mean, older Batman kind of is.
I mean, older Simon, because, I mean, obviously. But, like, Batman has been lean. He's lean.
I bought him
what I
Batman.
remember.
I thought he was great.
Oh, me too.
The Bruce Wayne, emo Bruce Wayne, non-Playboy Bruce Wayne, that was a little... that was the only reason why I almost did not give it a 10. But the reasons for taking that choice has a purpose. Therefore, you get a 10 movie. Good job.
I know.
There's a reason why he's emo Bruce Wayne. As much as I do not like emo Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, because I didn't like him either. But at the end, I was like, oh, shit. And now it makes sense.
It makes sense. So just for that reason, again, I was talking about this on the pod. When you tweak things that to serve the movie or serve the series or serve whatever you're doing, and it makes sense, good on you. If you just make changes on like Uncharted, that you just make changes just to make changes, that's dumb.
I haven't seen that movie, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't think I'm gonna see it.
You don't have to. You're not an Uncharted fan. There's no reason for you to watch it. It's just Uncharted. It's just fucking what's his name and what's his other face doing pew pews. But some of the changes that they did in that movie, I disagreed, and there was no reason for the changes.
Okay.
Over here, they changed it for a reason. I've never seen an emo Batman.
No, me neither.
Right?
It was always the Playboy.
But a Playboy Batman doesn't fit in this Gotham.
Nope.
Everybody's emo. I don't remember anybody cracking a joke or smiling. Well,
I mean, Batman cracked a couple of jokes, but they were so dark.
The sarcastic, dark jokes,
like the USB one.
Yeah,
that cracked me.
But that wasn't him. But that was the Riddler.
Yeah, I know. It was but it fucking way. That was a good one. That was a fucking good one.
Spoils? We could get into spoils in a second. Because lately, when DC is taking more of a risk than Marvel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would put this in the same category as a Joker.
Exactly. Yes.
Those are Academy Award winning movies. Mm-hmm. They should win something, which the Joker did, right?
Yep.
He won for performance porque se la mamó. Robert Pattinson se la mamó. But you can easily give something to Zoe if you want to. You can give it to Paul. You can give it to Colin,
the best
whoever.
Supporting actor, any of them can win it.
I think she's my favorite Catwoman.
It is hard, but oh god, is her or Michelle Pfeiffer? Nah, fuck it. Halle Berry wins.
Pfeiffer dope.
I did not know this, but she mastered the whip way.
Pfeiffer?
Yeah. Like every take she did, they did at like every time she whips out the whip.
Simone. Legit.
She legit does it, and they made a lot of takes of a lot of scenes.
Yeah.
And she hit every beat with the whip.
Nice.
Like she knocked it out.
But
as a like a Catwoman, cat burglar, I think Zoe Kravitz is the best performance.
It's because she's tiny. One. I mean, Pfeiffer is tiny, but I feel like Hathaway, she big. She Amazonian. If she was, if my wife wasn't Wonder Woman, I could see her being a better Wonder Woman than Catwoman. Hathaway.
Seaway.
I did not like her Catwoman.
It was okay. For me, it was okay. It was like,
But for right now, Zoe is 1A or 1B to Pfeiffer.
Yes.
I'll do that. Just to respect Pfeiffer still.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
I mean, Riddler, there's no fucking, like, you can't even compare. Right? It's not even the same fucking ballpark. And Penguin, even though Danny DeVito looks more like the Penguin, if he looked creepier, I don't think it would fit.
No. I mean, he did look fucked up because he was fucked up in the face.
Yeah.
But you believed it.
Yeah, it just, everything fits perfectly in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it serves the movie as it's supposed to be. But comparing DC to Marvel right now, DC I see DC kind of as UFC and Marvel as WWE. So you see how?
Oh wow, I understood that reference.
You see how UFC is like more real.
Yep.
And if you see like a fight of the year is better than like a WWE match. But the WWE is more spectacle and might have more money. I think it might be. Well, there might be going down. I don't know. But that's how I'm comparing them right now.
I'm surprised I got that reference.
I would like to see Marvel step out of their kiddie comfort zone and deliver us something really, really gritty. Because what's the grittiest Marvel movie we got to date?
Punisher Warzone. That's
okay,
fucked up.
What about in the MCU?
In the MCU, I would say...
I can't think of anything. Nothing is like brutal.
I mean, if we count Netflix, Daredevil.
Sure.
That's the grittiest shit.
Yeah, we would have to count Netflix.
Yeah,
but that's not even MCU.
It is MCU.
Is it?
Yeah.
I guess. Because they did it. Right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so Daredevil is the grittiest of them all.
Yeah, I guess Batman's making superhero movies for the adults. But it's PG-13, pues. It's the part that's like, you see, you fucks, you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, you with this, I think I will. Anytime I open my mouth to say something like that, I will never say anything if you shut me the fuck up.
So I was been trying to, like, it's possible. You can do it. It doesn't have to be PG-13. Doesn't mean like rainbows, and you can be that. But if your purpose is like it used to be back then, is you want to sell, like is what it is for Marvel. You want to sell action figures. You want to sell all this shit for kids. You kind of want your kids to kind of be able to want to watch it. I understand, right? But it all depends what you want to do. And I applaud DC to be like, you know what, we're gonna make a horror Batman movie. What? He's gonna be emo? What? Robert Pattinson? Nah. And it all working because it didn't seem like Warner Brothers stuck their finger in there. Like, no, this has to fit the universe of the. Who gives a fuck? We're starting from scratch, right? Flash is gonna come in and fuck everything up, right? Let's make him do this. We'll do this. I like that. And if it's a one and done, I like it. But if we're gonna get into spoils, it very much feels like the Batman set the fucking plate, or set is a very beautiful jump off point. You can go any direction you want.
Yes.
The way it left it, and we're in spoil, so you can. I'm taking the leash off my dog. You can go in any direction, but anything spoil you want to talk about.
The fucking ending way.
Okay.
I was like, I was like, okay. So when I heard the voice, I was like, don't fucking do it. Don't fucking. And he started laughing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was, fuck, we're going to get another one? But no, I mean.
Joker you're talking about?
Yeah, it is a possibility.
So what Matt Reeves said is that even though that this isn't the origin story for Batman, that was technically the origin story for the Joker. Because the Batman's been running around for 2 years, but the Joker isn't there yet.
Yep.
So it's like it's a kind of origin story of the Joker. Did you recognize who the Joker was?
No.
It's Barry. It's Barry Keoghan or Keoghan. Speaking of Marvel, he was the little fuck in Eternals, the guy who's like an asshole with the crew and he fucks off. I forget what his power was.
The one who was secluded in the woods.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
It's him. And I didn't recognize who it was, and I was waiting for the credits to tell me who the fuck it was, but because the credit doesn't say Joker, I didn't know who it was. And
what did it say? Like,
it didn't say anything. I don't think they credit him.
Oh fuck! Okay.
I don't think they credit him to keep him a secret. But after investigating, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Barry Keoghan.
That guy.
Ese cabrón. But it's the guy from the Eternals who's like a dickhead.
Simon.
Him. I need to see him a little bit more, but obviously it's kind of, that's not easy, but that's the wrong word to say, but it's easy to portray the Joker in like 5 minutes just by acting weird and mentioning a few things. So I don't know if I have a opinion on him being the Joker, but I'm excited if Matt Reeves is directing and he can tell him where to go.
Yeah, the Joker, I think a good Joker, using Heath Ledger as an example, he needs to carry himself in a way consistently throughout the movie, because, and consistently I mean within the character's parameters, because that fucker is a rabid dog.
Which
calculative
one?
The Joker.
Okay.
In general, I mean, he's a rabid dog, but he's cold and calculative. He's not stupid. He's not, he acts like one, but that's just the front, because he's a genius motherfucker.
But there's different ways you can do it.
Yeah.
There's different Jokers. So it really depends which way you want to take it and how you want to do it. But this casting choice, I'm not, oh, gross, right? I don't know. I haven't seen this kid create. I've seen him bits and pieces and other stuff. But I really don't have an opinion, and I'm not going to be like, oh, boo, right? Just because I saw him for 2 seconds. Another thing that Matt Reeves was saying is that this Joker is more of, he has a disease, right?
Yeah, because his face was kind of messed up.
Because his disease is that he can't stop smiling.
Oh, okay.
So he took inspiration from the clown who laughs or something like that, from like a 1920 movie where a guy can't stop smiling. He physically, mentally, like a disease, he can't stop smiling. So that's what this Joker is going to have if they do decide to keep going. So like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker is a mental thing, and he develops into that. The Ledger has the scars. The fucking Nicholson fell into the vat of acid, and that's how he became. This kid was born with it, so he's been dealing with the fact that this is something he can't change, and that's how he represents and he acts out towards the world too. The cruel, harsh cards he was dealt, per se, right? Yeah. But whether or not he's the next villain, he doesn't know yet. He just wanted to plant the seed, and that's what this movie very much is. It's not confirmed whether or not there's going to be more Pat Battinsons or anything, right? We don't know. But he's even said it himself. The next movie could be the Penguin doing stuff, or we can do other stuff with other villains. You remember when I thought it was adrenaline, but when Batman is all fucked up, he injects himself with venom.
That's what I thought. When that happened,
yeah,
I said, no mames, they fucking did it. And my girl was like, what happened?
Yeah. Because it was a green thing. I thought it was just, even Crazy Guy was like, it's adrenaline. I'm like,
no, it was green. I was like, did he just inject venom?
Yeah.
And she was like, why is that a big thing? And I was like, well, there's a storyline with the I do not remember that many Batman storylines, but I do remember this one where he gets addicted to it.
He gets addicted to it. And that's where Bane comes in as well. So you can take that route. I feel like it's too close to having two Banes from the Tom Hardy Bane to now.
But again, another seed has been planted.
But it's another seed that can be planted. That could be the second or third movie down the line. Like for the second movie, okay, I think I would want another movie in between, because the Tom Hardy one is still too close that we can still compare. Even the Joker one, I would want to wait, you know. But you can do Killer Croc. There's so many villains in the Batman universe.
The Batman's Rogues Gallery is huge.
I wouldn't want them to copy paste on Riddler. Do something else, right? I want to see what this series with what the Penguin is. But you could do him, you know, as develop him through the story of the series and make him a big badass, right? And then have him take him down there with maybe Killer Croc or maybe somebody else sprinkled in there. And then I would like, obviously, a Poison Ivy, something else, Poison Ivy, in the next third one with the Joker or whatever. Because now I know that Matt Reeves can handle multiple villains at the same time. We can do multiples at the same time. I would like at least 3 Batman Pattinson movies.
Oh, yes.
That's maybe asking for too much, but...
Maybe, yes, but dude, we just got a second Dune.
Yeah.
So there is a possibility for it.
But they would need to be working on it right now, and there's no word on it yet. That's the thing. No. I would like a trilogy from Pattinson by far and Matt Reeves. Don't bring anybody else. Let them two, and then let them just not copy paste it, but copy paste the process of this one. And if it's not going to be part of the DCEU or whatever, it doesn't have. You don't have to bring Aquaman. You don't have to bring Wonder Woman in, the Flash. Don't care. Just let this Gotham be its own little Gotham over here. Don't worry about any universes, right? Just like the Joker with its own thing. I was waiting for some kind of nod to that Arthur Fleck. There wasn't. So maybe there isn't a thing, right? Maybe it gets explored later on.
Or
we'll see.
Fuck it. It is another universe. Leave it at that.
Just make another universe, right? You don't have to follow Marvel's thing. As much as I said, following Marvel's thing, that's how you get success. You don't have to. It doesn't all have to be one giant universe.
No,
it could be different shit.
No, I'm the Joker's still on the backlist of order of Blu-rays I want to buy.
Oh yeah. I have Bubbles gifted that one to me.
And this Batman is another one. This is a must buy for me.
For you, but I understand Bubbles being like, no, you're too long. I understand it.
Yeah, completely.
You're fucking wrong and dumb, but I understand.
I respect your wrong views of this movie.
Did you get Robin vibes by that little kid? The one he saves a bunch of times. The one that's orphaned.
There was an inkling, but no, I didn't get Robin vibes.
I didn't until Crazy Guy kind of pointed out, and then I remembered that kid started out the movie dressed up as like a ninja with a sword and everything.
Oh, fuck. Sí es cierto, güey.
And then he saves the kid a bunch of times, and the kid is the first one to come out of the hole, you know, because the ending of this movie establishes
it was beautiful, way.
But it establishes what's it called? The dead space? Not dead space. What's it called? No Man's Land. It establishes the No Man's Land story arc where Gotham is now separated from the rest of the country, kind of, and it's like its own little thing where all the crime and all the mess is contained in there. So that's another launching point. That's another storyline that could take place. But I didn't immediately get Robin vibes by that kid. But then when Crazy Guy was like, that kid's Robin, right? I'm like, no. And then, wait a second. And I remember the first thing you see is him fighting as like a ninja.
Yeah, ninja.
And then he keeps looking at Batman. They have two moments. They have one when they're at the house, when they stare at each other. They have another one at the funeral where they're staring at each other. And then he's the first one to offer his hand when they gotta get out of the water.
To trust the Batman.
Right.
Which and that, like, that shift in mentality and in whatever you want to call it in Batman, I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, where he was like with the monologue too of like, I understand what I am now and all that shit. He's learning to be Batman.
I know, and that shift was amazing. It made me feel happy. Yeah, as bleak as the movie is, it made me feel happy.
I think that's the problem with the reception, because people think it's Batman, so Batman should be this and should be that. But you got to understand, it's year 2 Batman. It's him learning. It takes him a minute to understand all that shit. It took a whole ass movie for the Bale one. He's learning to be Batman in that too. Like, he's losing and he's fighting and he gets hit and all that shit. And this one, it's so grounded. He's not just gonna whip 17 guys in the subway. He's gonna get hit a couple times. I don't watch Titans, but that was another Easter egg. That kid that had half of his face painted, he's in Titans.
Oh, is that?
Yeah. I don't know who he plays or what he does, but he's like, he might be Robin or something. I don't know what he is. So people were saying he could be Robin too.
I don't think so.
I don't know. He didn't mean nothing to me. I would much rather to be the little kid.
See, wait, no, but when you put it like that, yeah, with a little kid. That's how
after it was pointed out to me, I was like, okay, he's wearing the thing, he's doing this, but I'm not seeing anybody else pointing that out. They were pointing out this kid with the half face paint, with the Coco, the Coco cosplay.
That's funny.
Yeah. Also, Catwoman can also return. She could be a villain probably in the 3rd movie. She said she was going to Bundhaven, or what was it? Where was she going?
Something, I can't remember, but yeah, something like that.
And that's where Nightwing usually is originated kind of from. So that's like the neighboring city of Gotham. So she's not really going too far. She's basically crossing the bridge.
Okay.
She's still right there. You know? So she's not like crossing a border or anything.
She ain't like in California from New York.
No. She's basically crossing the bridge and going to the other side of the bridge, where, like, that's like the centerpiece of Nightwing's story.
Adventures, yeah.
So that would be nice too. But we're only year 2 of Batman. Let's see year 3 and 4. You know, I like Pattinson to be younger Batman. I'm excited though. It was great. We already scored it. I gave it a 10. I can't talk about it enough. But it's very possible that you don't agree with us. And if you don't, please leave a comment down below. Why not?
Yes, we really want to know, or open a discourse to why you didn't like it, or why you thought what you thought about the movie.
Yeah, because it's fair. Even Crazy Guy, who's like a super critical, you know, he's like my brother's childhood friend. He's super critical with things, and he was like, "It's a 10. It's great because they give enough attention to detail to things that you don't think you would give a shit about, but you do secretly give a shit about, and they respect that shit."
Fucking shout out to Crazy Guy.
It was great. I thought it was great. And maybe there's Easter eggs that we didn't think, theories, anything, and all. Leave a comment down below, right here on the YouTubes. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I also have the podcast, Geeks, and Joysticks, on the audio realm. Spotify, Stitcher, all that good shit. You can follow me personally at Enterprises, Paurizas. You can follow my ghostly friend at Jeffo91. Anything you want to say to the beautiful people, Felix?
If by anything else, just watch the movie for the Batman.
I thought you wanted to say our vengeance.
Nah, that was too obvious.
Chingo. All right.
If you don't understand the reference, watch the movie.
He's called Vengeance during the movie. He's not called Batman Never Once.
No, but the cards always say for the Batman.
For the Batman, that's true. More Easter eggs.
Yeah.